Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley live with you right now. It's 8 o'clock on our Tuesday, and it is a weather impact alert day. You probably know why at this point, at least in half the area, you've already gotten some storms. And right now, outside your window, it might be really bad outside at the moment. We're going to spend the next 15 minutes or so tracking these with you to let you know what they're doing, where they're going, and what you can expect going forward through the rest of the night tonight. Right now, we're seeing this line move right through the heart of the Triad. So splitting the difference between Winston-Salem and Greensboro. It's approaching High Point right now. We have a severe thunderstorm warning up in Rockingham County as well. The main issues with these storms, lightning and lots of rain. Those are the two biggest issues. Wind gusts can happen. They have happened in some cases, but primarily the big concern are these lightning strikes, which are dangerous on their own, plus the downpour rain that could cause some flash flooding issues. Remember, this is just the first line of what is likely to be several different lines of showers and storms as we go through the next couple of hours. So we have a ways to go as we kind of track this with you on live radar. There's a lot more to come when it comes to this weather system. In fact, we're tracking rain all the way back closer to Kentucky, Tennessee, the North Carolina mountains too. So it's going to be a few different rounds of heavy rain and lightning as we go throughout the rest of the evening and even into the overnight hours. This is not going to be short-lived for our Triad area. This is going to be more of a long run thing over the next little bit. So this is what we're watching now through midnight, maybe even through about 2 a.m. or so. Widespread thunderstorms. Took a while for them to get going, but now we're seeing them pretty widespread across a good chunk of our Triad area. The main risks would be these: flooding risk and some wind gust risk too. And also, of course, as any thunderstorm, the lightning concern. We've seen so much lightning lately across the Triad area. Tonight is no different. Keep that News 2 app fired up and ready to go. The interactive radar will help you out. But in much of our area, I'd recommend staying home at this point. You can kind of see why. These dark clouds, when you see those, that's a shelf cloud moving through our High Point sky camera vantage point. And when I hit play, you'll notice how this is kind of leading the way to a pretty nasty storm. There's a big whoosh of a downpour rain. This is advancing closer and closer to the city as we kind of roll through closer to 8 o'clock tonight. There's rain on the way. It's just a matter of time before it kind of gobbles you up and gets in there along Main Street and High Point. Another dramatic view that I can show you, this is from our Winston-Salem sky camera. This one's good enough. I want to step out of the way. We're going to start this view about 6:55 this evening. So a little more than an hour ago, we were tracking this for you earlier. And what you'll see is that this storm kind of gains steam in the distance, advances in, and there's a wall of water coming in there. You even saw a lightning strike and then a little bit of clearing toward the end of it. On the last frame, I did want to point this out. There's that big, beautiful bolt of lightning, but uncomfortably close. You know, the Winston-Salem Dash had a home game tonight. They kind of rain delay. So people in the concourses here, right when that bolt of lightning falls from the sky, lots of different lightning strikes in downtown Winston-Salem as that storm rolled through. But always amazing to kind of catch these bolts of electricity. That's a true cloud to ground lightning strike captured on our sky camera, which is right there atop what they used to call the Winston Tower in downtown Winston-Salem. Let's get back to the live radar. This is where we're going to hang out for the next 10 minutes or so to show you where the storms are, what they're doing, and what you should do about it. First things first, there is a severe thunderstorm warning. This is for a number of counties, so I'm not going to list all of them here. You can kind of see for yourself. This whole yellow box, it extends from southern Virginia. It includes parts of Caswell, parts of Rockingham County. Bottom line, if you're in some of these nasty bits of the storm, there could be some high winds, okay? So the main concern, along with the lightning, would be for a few damaging wind gusts. So if you're in that warning box, we're going to let you know about where you need to be seeking shelter. Bottom line, if you're hearing thunder tonight, make sure to stay inside. That's your best bet. So here's Reedsville, right about here. Obviously lots of damaging wind potential, but I don't think there's too many gusts that'll exceed that in this particular storm. Maybe a couple of downed trees here or there, but so far we're not seeing anything too crazy high with wind velocity. More in that 30 to 40 mile per hour range is more likely. But this storm is affecting Danville, Virginia. You know what? We've got a weather camera up there too. Let me pull that up at the moment so we can check that out. Oh yeah, there it is. So this is in Danville right now where they are seeing this particular thunderstorm. It does have a severe thunderstorm warning on it. You can almost see that rain kind of driving along the waterway there. That's the Dan River. Looks to be a little bit of a diagonal rainfall right now. So it's a gusty thunderstorm for sure, and a heck of a downpour as well. Not too much blowing of this tree in the foreground. That's good news from what we can tell, but it sure is a thunderstorm that's worth mentioning as well at this time. So that's up in Danville. Reedsville, you're getting the same one basically. Let me load the radar properly here. Let's make sure we've got that going for you. There, it's back. So this storm is continuing. It's part of a line of storms that rolls from Danville down into Reedsville. If you're watching in Rockingham County, you just went through this in Eden, getting a little bit of a lull there. Ruffin, you're still going through it. There is another storm roaring in on the heels of that, moving through Madison and Mayodan, Stokes County as well. And then Guilford County, we have to talk about you, looking at Oak Ridge and Summerfield right now with very heavy rainfall, lots of frequent lightning. Here's a brand new warning that just popped up for Guilford County, so you're going to be seeing this and it'll be buzzing your phone too. This is a new warning for this particular storm. So let's pop this label up. I'm seeing this for the first time with you. This is between now and 8:45. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for possibly wind gusts up as high as 60 miles per hour. Not likely to find hail here. Severe hail is not likely with these showers and storms, but we are looking at potentially some wind speeds that could be pretty high. So this is the nasty part of the storm right now, approaching PTI Airport. PTI is right about here. Summerfield, Oak Ridge, Farmers Market, Colfax, Kernersville, you just went through this, and it is moving close into High Point as well. We'll get back to that sky camera in just a second, but this is kind of the lay of the land here. Very heavy rainfall, lots of frequent lightning strikes too, and this is kind of a north to south line. So all of these areas, Oak Ridge, Stokesdale, Summerfield, you're getting in on this. So where's it going next? Let me read the text of the warning here to get an accurate wind speed or a arrival time, basically. So this is moving at about 25 miles per hour. Not that fast. These storms aren't moving all that quickly tonight. So as we're tracking them for you, we're assuming a 25 mile per hour speed. So that would bring it into downtown Greensboro by about 8:35 or so. Elon by about 9:20, Burlington by about 9:30 if it holds together. If you're watching from Randolph County, right now it doesn't extend all the way south, but that could change. It could build a little bit southward too, but it is roaring into High Point right about now. Greensboro, that'll be coming up in about 10 minutes to 20 minutes, depending on which side of the city you're located in. Let's pull up the velocity map to show you what kind of wind speeds we're talking about. Again, it's not popping off the map to me in terms of really, really high winds. So I think that would be the exception rather than the rule. You might have a couple of 40 mile per hour wind gusts with this thing, but so far, not all that bad. When this line rolled through Winston-Salem, they had about a 30 mile per hour wind that did accompany it. So it was about a 29 to 30 mile per hour wind gust in Winston-Salem when that one rolled through. Let's going to go to our High Point weather camera right now. I'm just going to leave this on live because we should be seeing that shower and thunderstorm moving into High Point. This is happening right now in High Point on our camera, and it'll be pushing on by and going closer to Greensboro after this. So this is the storm that's moving toward Guilford County, and it's just a matter of time before it heads your way, right? So it's a busy evening as expected in the Triad area with lots of these different showers and storms. Most of them not producing damaging wind gusts, but a couple of them could be. So it's worth watching to be sure. This is High Point. Of course, you're looking pretty much on the north side here, looking on Main Street. And you see the Rocker Stadium in the foreground as well. There's a lot going on in that area, so we'll be okay, but you got to be hunkered down once this kind of pushes on by. That's our High Point camera. We'll go back to our Winston-Salem camera, show you it really improved quite a bit. Remember that lightning strike? That's a memory now. Things are improving quite a bit back there in Forsyth County, but there will be more. There will be more once we get closer to the late night hours, some more rounds of showers and storms. Burlington, you're still just watching and waiting here before things were to head your way. And let's just kind of reset the scene. We're going to look at where these showers and storms are right now, where they're headed on the wider view. This will give us a better perspective on what we're looking at. So this is a bit of a line of showers and storms that's kind of pushing across the Piedmont Triad, but also down here by the Charlotte area. there's more going on. So this is a round 2, if you will. This should start to head closer to Charlotte by about 9, and then closer to the Triad area closer to around 11 o'clock to midnight. So if we look at our Futurecast map model, this is going to give us an estimated time frame of arrival, basically. So between now and the next several hours, how are we doing? Well, overall, this model is already underestimating the number of storms. But what it does show us is that there's probably going to be some action between now and all the way through about 2 a.m. So not good sleeping weather if you have storm anxiety. The dog's not going to like it. You're going to have some thunder and lightning kind of as an issue for a long while tonight. And on top of that, we talk about the risk of flooding. There is that concern with some of these storms today that there could be some flood problems that result. So not just severe weather, but also flooding problems could happen with some of these showers and thunderstorms. Let me pop those risk levels on there for you so you can see that as we're tracking it together as these storms roll through our Triad area. Tracking it on the fly for you. This is a level 1 risk of strong weather moving into our area. That means most people won't have severe winds, but a couple of you could. It's a level 1 risk of severe storms. As far as wind potential, what kind of winds would we be looking at? Well, the wind risk is pretty low as well. We're in the low end of things for the risk of damaging winds for tonight. We don't have any real risk of hail or tornadoes, but there is a concern for flooding. This is what we call the flash flood risk. We're in the level 2 category here. So when you have one round move through, then another round later, there is potential in some areas that we could see some rising water or we could see some flooded out roadways. So that's something to keep in mind as we go through time tonight. Over the next about 4 to 6 hours. We got about 4 to 6 hours left of this, if you can believe it. So let's go back to the live radar. Lots to look at. Actually, I want to go back to our high point weather camera because that was the one that caught it live right now. Here's that thunderstorm continuing in High Point. If we hang on this long enough, we'll probably get a couple of different lightning flashes popping up. Just make sure to stay inside as these things pass your area. They are moving, but they're not moving all that quickly, about 25 miles per hour tonight. Pop the radar on. Come on. We want you to do it. There it is. The radar is back. So again, we have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings that will continue. One for Danville, Caswell County, Rockingham County until 8:45. The one in Greensboro and Randolph County and parts of Forsyth too, and Davidson, I guess, 8:45. So that's the cutoff down there. I'm going to turn the alerts off so we can look at this together, and let's pause and give you some streets. So where is this chugging along? Well, right now, the worst of it in Greensboro, starting to move in closer to the airport. So this is Highway 40, Interstate 40. This is, of course, right there by Highway 68. Here in this box, 68 on one side, 73 on the other, that's PTI Airport. So that's where we're starting to see this storm roll in. We should be getting a couple of weather observations shortly. That's where we get those temperature readings, wind speed readings. So I'm going to pull that up so I can get that to you on the fly as well at PTI. But that thunderstorm is rolling in right over the airport right now in Greensboro. And so far we have thunder being reported and winds gusting to about 25 miles per hour. If you're in Greensboro proper, the city, downtown, it's not raining, but it is starting to rain on West Friendly over here by Guilford College Road. So Guilford College getting some rain. Wendover, Palladium getting the rainfall too. Farther north towards Summerfield and Oak Ridge is getting that very well as well. Farther south, High Point seeing the storm. Thomasville, you're getting the storm, but Lexington, you're kind of over with it. Asheboro, not seeing you getting it right now, but see these little guys? All those little pop-ups, that could become part of the line. So it's kind of growing as it goes along, and you can notice this when you track it over time that they're always changing. They're never really staying the same. So you can see for yourself here how the line has developed over the last hour or so, and the front end of it is going to be the most impactful. So once that blows through, you get a little bit of calmer weather on the backside where you get some just steady rainfall for about an hour or so. And then beyond that, we're going to have to watch back to the North Carolina mountains because here's round number 2. More showers and thunderstorms pushing through Boone, pushing toward Wilkesboro, where they had a flash flood warning earlier. Still in effect, by the way. Rainfall totals about 2 to 3 inches in some cases. This will be the next line, and there's a little bit more on the other side of the mountains as well. Not quite as bad as this, a little bit less impactful, but you get the idea. This is kind of a several-hour storm threat for tonight. If you're just joining us, or maybe you haven't watched the whole thing, we can show you some impressive images here. This is from our High Point weather camera. It's going to be a time lapse. You'll see a shelf cloud. We call that a shelf cloud. It moves ahead of a thunderstorm, kind of precedes the colder air that arrives with that cooler rain, and then we have the rainfall just kind of sliding into the area. Here's another view from Winston-Salem a little bit earlier. Again, I'm staying out of the way so you get the pretty view. There's that big batch of rainfall, and then since then it's been a little bit steadier and more moderate, not all that bad. But in the mix of that, we did catch this really cool lightning bolt right there over the Winston-Salem Dash Stadium. That was right around 7:30. We are still expecting these showers and storms to continue all the way through about midnight tonight. So be on the lookout for lots of lightning and heavy rainfall between now and midnight, even 2 a.m. or so. The main risks are flooding and high winds. Make sure to keep that News 2 app close by. And one more look at the radar before I let you go, because we're going to have more updates. We'll be back with you at 9, 10 o'clock, and then we'll have the news at 11 as well. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for Guilford County and Greensboro. The latest look at this, it doesn't look all that strong to me as far as high wind potential. Refreshing this all the time, I'm not getting any super high gusts at PTI Airport. Well, actually, just now the latest gust did come in at about 41 miles per hour, so that's pretty impressive. We got a 40-mile-per-hour wind out of this thing, so that's a decent thunderstorm. That is headed toward downtown pretty shortly, so this is the heavy weather that we've been predicting throughout the day. It's going to be moving in to Greensboro within the next 10 to 15 minutes. So be inside as this passes. It's just moving over PTI. We'll get a couple more scans over the next minute or so. But if you're in Asheboro, you're kind of missing out on it right now. And then elsewhere across the area, if you're in Rockingham County wondering when it's going to improve, you've still got a little ways to go. Probably another half hour to 45 minutes before this starts to calm down a little bit. Reidsville, you're kind of dancing around the worst of it, but this is going to fill in the gaps out there from the south. Madison and Mayodan, hang tight. Hopefully by about 15-20 minutes, you're improving. Eden, it's going to get a little worse for you as that second batch rolls your way. Stokes County, it's already improving, but next round would be in a couple of hours. For South County, you're in a gap zone right now, but we will watch some more action come closer to us, closer to 10 o'clock tonight. So there's the wide view, a couple different rounds of thunderstorms moving on by from the Virginia border down through Greensboro, down closer to Lexington. Then we have a bit of a gap. Then here's your next round of action out there by the North Carolina mountains. So it's a pretty busy night of weather. It's a pretty active scene. And again, between now and 9 o'clock should be some tough weather for Greensboro. Then Burlington, we'll be watching you coming up on the 9 o'clock weather cut-in, because I think you'll be seeing some heavier weather closer toward 9 to 9:30 or so. That's going to do it for us here for this cut-in right now. But we'll be joining you again on WFMY Plus coming up at 9 o'clock with the latest on the showers and thunderstorms moving across our area.